Hi, thanks for joining in. I'm glad you're here, and I want to talk today about the importance of balancing closeness and separateness in our relationships, particularly during this weird time of the coronavirus and quarantine and stay-at-home orders. So I'm really glad that you're joining here either live or for the replay. My name is Linda Spann, and I'm the founder of the Lesbian Couples Institute. We're an office, an organization housed in Denver, and we offer in-person counseling, private couples retreats, and now we offer relationship coaching either for a couple or an individual worldwide. So no matter where you are in the world, we're here to support you. But today I want to talk about our need to balance closeness and separateness in our relationships. It's the balance between the we and the me. And I will say that as a group, people in our community, lesbians and other queer women, sometimes we struggle with this balance. We have a tendency to just go all in and merge into this one blob of we, and we leave out the edges of the individual of the me. And so it's already a challenge for many of us. Let me tell you, it's an even bigger challenge right now with what we're going through. I don't know about where you live, but in Denver, this has become a ghost town, so to speak. Everything's closed. People have been asked to stay at home. And unless it's for an emergency or for health reasons or to get food. So it's really pretty bizarre out there. I imagine it's that way where you are too. Under normal circumstances, we would get our separateness needs met and our closeness needs met by coming and going in what used to be the normal ebb and flow of life, right? So our closeness needs, we would meet those when we would get home, and we'd be together, and we'd have a chance to land at home together. And our separateness needs got met by going to work or to the gym or to the climbing wall or to a gathering with another friend or to or shopping. That was one of the ways I like to have separateness. Those are not options right now. We're indeed living through a very bizarre time, and frankly, it is screwing up the balance between closeness and separateness in a relationship. And what's happening is that the walls are closing in on us. Being at home is causing strain on many relationships right now. There is just, frankly, too much togetherness, I think. And so we tend to get more irritable, snippy with each other, annoyed, overwhelmed with too much time together. And what's interesting, and this is somewhat paradoxical, but even though we are spending more time at home with our babe, that time may not be quality time, right? So there's this weird paradox of, finally we get to hang out more together, but for a lot of relationships, there's this quite frigid emotional distancing that's happening in spite of the physical proximity. So I think it's important to talk about how can we navigate this? How can we navigate the fact that we're spending so much more time at home, and do it in a way that we can have the proper balance that really helps us thrive as a couple, as a family unit. So I'm going to recommend that the first thing that you do, if you haven't done this yet, is to set up a family meeting, a good old-fashioned family meeting. If it's just two of you living at home, then it's a two-person meeting. If you have kids around, either kids from college that have come back home and are stuck doing their schooling from there, or if you have younger kids that live with you, call a family meeting, get everybody around the table, get a pad of paper and a pen, and I want you to make the purpose of this meeting to listen to everybody, to work together to discover what are each person's needs when it comes to having some closeness and some separateness. So help each other brainstorm. A really good question to ask is, what do you need so that you can feel good every day? From that data that you gather, the next step I want you to take is to develop a routine for being together some of the time. This is the closeness need that we have, and to be apart some of the time. So you're going to tease out a routine that gives you both of those elements. One of the things that I think is super valuable in this process if you'll talk about the benefits to both sides. So what are the benefits to you and to your relationship for the togetherness, for the closeness? How does that benefit you? Probably makes you feel secure, loved. It may lower your anxiety and fear that's kicked up because of this virus. How does being apart benefit you? How does the separateness benefit you? Well, it helps you grow individually, soothe yourself, find things to do that make you feel up to something. So identify the benefits, then it's going to be much easier to be in the mood to go along with this plan. So you're gonna look for closeness times, and by closeness, I'm not just talking about physical proximity. I'm talking about closeness that has the element of connection and quality time. So how are you going to spend time together? I'm going to recommend that you spend some time eyeball to eyeball in conversation, doing something fun together, maybe playing games or looking at old pictures. I believe that having some physical touch or affection is really helpful in terms of connection. So I want you to include that, whether it's a hug or cuddling, or you can have sex if you want to, though that's not what I'm talking about. Another thing that I think is super helpful for connection as a couple is actually to reach out to somebody else as a couple. And because of the social isolation right now, I really recommend that you reach out through a FaceTime, Skype, Zoom. Get together with other people that you love on a video platform and do it as a couple. That will help your sense of connection as well. The flip side of that is to incorporate in your routine some separateness. I want you to designate a space in your home that can be your space. So I think of it as either a safe space or a sacred space, or your personal cave space, right? A place that you can say, hey, this is my spot. You're going to bring in elements that you really enjoy, like maybe a candle, the kind of music you like to listen to, a book that you're reading, something that's going to make it a really cozy, inviting place for you to spend some time alone, doing self-care, doing something that you really enjoy, whether it's reading or yoga or one of your arts. Find a place and a time to be able to do that. And I want you to support that for everybody in your household. If you live in a small house, this is going to be more challenging. So you're going to have to probably, you're going to have to come up with a schedule so that you can each enjoy some space alone. You can also get some space outside. If you're allowed to go outside where you live for a walk or in your yard, then that's another good way to get some individual time. Now, in that separateness, I want you to nurture yourself. Do things that help you feel good. I'm remembering a time early in my relationship, my partner Lisa would get a little bit overwhelmed with too much togetherness, and she would say, I love you, but I really need to get some time alone. She would say, I need to find my edges. And I love that metaphor. If we spend too much time together as a our edges blur, and we become too enmeshed. So having some separateness is super important for our personal health and for the health of the relationship. So I encourage you to have a conversation and then figure out a routine so that you can really craft a balance between closeness and separateness. This is going to help you get through this time right side up as a couple and as a family. So best of luck with that. Please put a comment below about how you plan to get some closeness and separateness in your relationship. I'd love to hear your comments. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, be well, take really good care of one another. Bye-bye.